For most of the season, the penalty kill's been in 70-something%. I know there have been some pretty good bursts, but it's kind of been locked into that area. And I know you continue to kind of work on some things. What is the? I know if you knew you'd fix it already, but what is sort of?
Yeah, no, I think, what the thoughts right now are, we got some new people that we're integrating into it. Can't forget that, Evander's been out most of the year, and he's a regular penalty killer. So for him to get some reps, I think that was good. Nick, we're introducing the penalty killer. He's a good face-off man, long body. And then also with Eck on the back end. I think we've had good moments, and then we've had moments that we want to have back. To me, I think we've had 2 meltdown games, one in Washington and another in LA, and I think that skews numbers. We're not about coaching towards whatever that number is right now. We're talking about being the best that we can be and dialing in some of our details. And look at the game in Toronto, I thought the first penalty kill goal at the end of the second period, I think it went off our foot, and it bounces right to a guy and it goes in the net. You build those in sometimes, but I thought we could have done a better job on the one in the third period. And when you have some new people, it's just nice to work on things in practice sometimes.
Speaking of Nick, what have you liked from him? Just seeing him here the first 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think he's another veteran player, comfortable with where his game's at. He knows what he brings to the rink every day. I think he's a long body. I think he gets in on the forecheck. He can hold people off. He's been good in the face-off circle. And we're trying to find the right fit and the right sweet spot for him ice time-wise and all that sort of thing. That's part of him learning us and us learning him.
Having another guy, obviously in Buffalo, he was lights out in the face-off circle, but having another guy that you can trust in that situation, how big is that for a coach?
Yeah, I think it's big. This year we've pretty much only used DR on the right side, and he's been our only right-handed face-off option. So to have 2 options there, I think it makes it a little bit more comfortable for the coaches, because now we have, if one guy's struggling, you can go with the other guy. Both are trusted veteran players, and it's a really good option to have.
Jay, post-game Toronto, your leadership group stepped up for a couple of young guys. When it came to the media, what kind of a message does that send to the group?
Well, I didn't even know about it till I got to the plane. So for me, when I read about it and when I heard from our PR department when they told me was, I think it's a group trying to protect some people, protect some younger people, and from having to answer for maybe a personal error here or there. In the end, I think those younger players would have been fine with going out and answering that. But what I liked is the fact that our leaders felt that was important, and not only did they feel it was important, but they stood in front of it.
Can you speak about the growth of this leadership group as a whole? Because I look at that situation and the situation with Matt Berlin, and they both signify awareness of the situation and the long road ahead. Can you maybe talk about that?
Yeah, I liked your word that you used, Tony. I think it's an awareness of things, and in the end, we got a bunch of great people that are trying to pull together here for a common purpose and work towards a common goal. Our leaders felt that in the moment there after the game in Toronto. Good on them.
With 36 hours to kind of marinate or whatever on that game, do you look at the back half of that game or the first half of that game where you guys actually played pretty well and were maybe the better team? Even?
Yeah, I think we had the lead in that game, and I don't think it went exactly according to our plan. I thought we made a couple young mistakes, a couple fatigue mistakes, and for me, I think what you try and pull out of that game are the growth moments or learning moments, understanding how to control momentum moments. And that's what the regular season's about. You're trying to search for those moments as they occur. Obviously, it's no fun in the moment to not win that game, but I think we can get better for it, providing that we're prepared to learn. And we talked a lot about that today in our meeting this morning, and we're going to try and use that as a lesson to springboard us going forward.
When a young player makes a mistake, do you go over and talk to him, or do you know that when you make a mistake, you guys know they made a mistake, or do you just, how do you handle it with a young
I think it depends in the moment.
Yeah.
You know, if you ask Ryan McLeod if he'd make that play another 100 times, he's probably not going to try and make that play 99 out of 100 times. It was a mistake. And, you know, I think if I would go over and give him an earful in the moment, 5 seconds after he got off the ice, I don't know if that's as valuable as, you know, maybe talking at a different point about his choice of play selection there. But in the end, he knows. And I said this after the game, we stick together, win or lose, we stick together. You know, I think the leadership group doing what they did, I think that's an example of that. But, you know, Ryan knows and Vincent knows. And in the end, we can't make those plays against good teams because you never know when the most important play of the game is going to be.